We didn't get your prediction for the first two Panther games because you were limping around because your body lets you do things that you pay for later. So, Panthers, Bruins tonight. How many points are the Panthers getting? Tell me in barks. How many points are the Panthers getting tonight? He's thinking about it. Come on. Dude, I will not accept 0 as an answer. Oh, he's walking away from me. That is not good, Panther fans. All right, so we've never asked Ellie her prediction for the Florida Panther games. All right? So, Ellie, Panthers, Bruins. Fluffy walked away from me. He says we're going to lose and it's going to be bad. If you give me a whine, give me a sign that the Panthers are going to get points. Say something. Anything. This is like the longest period of quiet she's ever had in her entire life. Guys, I don't think we're winning tonight. You ready? Here we go. It did it. I don't believe it.
Let's go Panthers. Let's go Panthers. Let's go Panthers. Let's go. Go.
Puck drop. And 3, 2, 1.
Let's go Panthers. Let's go Panthers. Let's go Panthers. Let's go. Go.
All right. How we doing, Panther fans? So, end of the road trip tonight, and then everybody gets to go to the home opener on Wednesday. But tonight, we have to deal with the Boston Bruins. Bubba Brewski is in net. And there are no lineup changes because there are nobody to change the lineups with. Doesn't matter, you don't change a winning lineup. So unless there's some kind of tweaking to the lines, we're good to go. We know exactly what to expect. Panthers 2-0. Do you have an undefeated road trip in you to start the season? I don't know. You guys watched the intro. Both of the dogs are pretty sure nothing good is happening tonight. I don't know how that's going to work out. So, getting ready to do the live stream. For those of you who do not know, I live stream the entire games now, 1 hour before the game we start. The other thing is a couple people have been asking me to bring back the Ask Jaws video, so I'm doing that. So you can either reply to the community post that I made, or you can reply in this video with your question for the Ask Jaws. That's going to be on Fridays. I'm going to try to have one of those out every Friday. Other than that, let's get 2 points. Let's get out of the building healthy and get home. All right, so it's 1-0 Boston after 1. We gave up a goal 21 seconds into the game when the Gudis-Forsling pairing gave up a breakaway and a goal. And if you're wondering why Gudis was paired with Forsling, it's because Brandon Montour last minute has an upper body injury. He's not playing. And so we have 5 defensemen. So Eric Stahl and Aaron Ekblad are technically the top pair. And then you have Forsling with Gudis. And then Mahura fills in the gaps from time to time. The good news is finally we have an answer. I only asked 1,000 people 1,000,000 times over the summer, including people, that should know what we would do in case somebody gets hurt and we had no extra players. And apparently how it works with emergency call-ups is, since we're playing a man short tonight, okay, now after this night, we can bring up somebody with a cap hit of $850,000 or less on an emergency basis, so that we actually have a hockey team on the ice of 12 forwards and 6 defensemen. So apparently you can do that and it won't count against the cap, but it has to be, you can't bring up like a $10 million player. Not that you would have one in the minors, but you get the point. So we should be able to bring up Lucas Carlson. That would be my assumption if Montour is hurt. Other than that, in terms of the game, Bobrovsky gave up the 1 goal. It was really not his fault. Really not a whole lot he could do about it. It would have been a nice, amazing save. It was savable, but we don't look good. This is easily the worst period of hockey we've played all season. We're not nearly as physical I'm seeing some coasting. We look like a team at the end of a 3-game road trip to start the season, playing another good team at home. That's how we look. It is what it is. If we can get out of this game with the point, I'll be happy, but I'll say it again. You all saw what the dogs told me this morning. They wouldn't even talk to me. They just both walked away in silence. So their prediction's looking pretty good right now. Well, so remember all summer long, I can't believe this. It's 2-1 Boston after 2. Remember all summer long when we were all wondering, what the hell are we going to do when somebody gets hurt? So we're already playing with 5 defensemen because Montour has an upper body injury. We're just barely getting to the point where we're figuring out, okay, we can call up an emergency guy in case we need to, so that we have 6 defensemen. And Ekblad went through the tunnel, and Ekblad is hurt and out. And we're going to play the third period, unless he comes back. We're going to play the third period with 4 defensemen. Mark Stahl looks good tonight. He is playing a hell of a game tonight. He's made some really, really good plays. If we get a point out of this game, Mark Stahl gets one of the stars of the game. All right? I'm not saying anything bad about him tonight. The top line, we need a shift. We need the line blender just a little bit here, guys. The top line is not, it ain't happening. It didn't happen last year, whatever it is, with Reinhart and Barkov, it ain't happening. Put Reinhart with Colin White spot, put Colin White up at the top, and let's go and see what happens with that, because we're now closing in on the third game. Barkov doesn't even have a goal. Okay? It ain't working. Other than that, it was a better period. It was a beautiful pass from Tkachuk to Bennett. I mean, I yelled up, I jumped up and yelled that we scored before the puck went in the net. That's how confident I was. That's how beautiful of a pass it was from Tkachuk to Bennett. If we can get a point out of this game, because if there's anything seriously wrong with Ekblad, I don't know what we're going to do. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to think about it. Let's hope he comes back. Move on to the third period. Well, if Panthers lose 5-2. Now, if you're wondering why I look a little bit peaked, before the stream started, I decided, you know, I've been doing a lot of extra work for the channel, and I haven't got to the gym as much as I would like. So I decided during the live stream, and I didn't think this through at all, I decided that when the Panthers give up a goal, I would take my 15-pound dumbbells and do 10 curls on each arm, 10 pushbacks on each arm, and then 10 presses. And we proceeded to give up 5 goals. And when I tell you what, when we hit the post on the empty net, I was praising, and so we have 4 healthy defensemen, and exactly what we were all concerned about all summer long took 3 games to not just rear its ugly head, but it grew an extra head. It's a conjoined twin, because we had just figured out, okay, if Montour can't play, we can call up Carlson, because you can call up a guy. But I don't know if you can call up 2 guys. I don't know if it just keeps working like that. If Ekblad is hurt too, because you got to figure, we got 60. Montour had to really be hurting to not be able to play, to leave a short 5. And then you got to figure Ekblad really has to be hurting if we're already short and only had 5 and he left us with 4. 3 games in. 3 games in. So, Bobrovsky, I don't care about the 5, and I know what was 1 or 2 empty nets. It was 2, right? Was it 2? Well, I freaking get. Whatever it was a long night. Bobrovsky played a hell of a game. And the other thing I'll say is that I'm seeing so many mixed opinions on Mark Stahl. I thought he played well, especially considering he was basically our top defenseman out there next to Forsling when Forsling wasn't on the ice. What do you want the guy to do? He's knocking people around. He's doing the best he can. He didn't look bad to me. I'm sorry. I don't know what other people are, and I'm not saying that to be critical. I don't know what other people are seeing that I'm missing, because usually I'm the bitch about the guy. You know what I mean? Usually I'm the first guy to be bitching about somebody. And I tell you who I will bitch about is Sam Reinhart. Now, Coach Maurice is going to find out what Coach Q found out really early on last year. We got Sam Reinhart. They put him up top with Barkov, and the top line was absolute ass. And remember, Reinhart had been moved back down to the third line with Lundell before Q even resigned. That's how fast Coach Q found out that that wasn't going to work. We got 3 games now. The top line has zippity-doo-dah to show for it in terms of those 3 guys getting goals. Colin White has 2 goals with Lundell and Luosterainen. And I don't know what we do here, because I think what you should try to do, we know Lundell and White have some chemistry. We know Lundell and Reinhart really have chemistry. What I think we need to do is put White up top, since he's scoring goals. Put Reinhart back with Lundell and see if Barkov and White can get some chemistry, because the top line cannot go scoreless if we're going to win games. That can't happen. So, all right, we weren't going to win every game. This was going to be a tough one, regardless of the fact that we have, like, Kyle and I are the only healthy defensemen who are left. All right, this was going to be a tough game. Let's be honest about that. The Bruins are better than the Islanders and the Sabres. No offense to the Islanders fans. Okay? Allmark, you have to give him credit. He played a hell of a game. And we went 2-1 on the road trip to start the season. And really the only concern now is the health of Brandon Montour and Aaron Ekblad. Let's get home. At least give us Montour back so we can call up Carlson to replace Ekblad, right? I mean, Ekblad has to be hurt if he was not out there. So that's my biggest concern about this. All right, Stu and I will be back in the morning to go over this. Stu and I actually disagree about Stahl, so that will make things a little bit interesting. I'm trying to think if I saw anything else. You know I said we were going to start slow. And thought for a half minute there that was out of the question. But, I didn't account for injuries, guys. If let's just say Ekblad and Montour are out for 2 weeks, and we have to roll with, like, if Carlson comes up and then we have to put in Kiersted as well, that could not be good. That could hurt us a little bit. Okay? Montour and Ekblad being out. This, I like Lucas Carlson, but it's just not going to make up for those guys. So, while I'm hoping that's not the case, we're not out of the weeds yet with how we're starting off this season. We knew this cap thing was going to be a problem. I didn't think Game 3, we all knew Ekblad would miss some time. I didn't think Game 3. This is concerning. It's no doubt, right? So, we'll find out more tomorrow. Got these guys home. The home opener is Wednesday. Somebody, at least give us back Montour, right? We're not going to win games without Ekblad and Montour. That's going to be a big ask. That's going to be a big ask. We got to get one of them back. So, all right. Thank you, everybody, for coming out to the stream. Really, really appreciate it. You guys, Michael and Matthew and Cuban and Paul and a few others who I'm not remembering right off the top of my head are just giving massive, Nate, giving just massive super chat support. If I missed your name, I'm going to try to catch up on the highlights of the streaming and flip that in there too. You guys, if you're missing the streams, you're missing a hell of a good time. Now, if you can't see the streams, or you don't like to watch the streams during the game, check out the following day. I put together a highlight video of the streams. You guys are missing out. Since they're not getting a lot of views, I'm taking like 90 minutes to put those things together. So give them a look. It's fun. I'm trying to keep them under 8 minutes. They're short. So if you're not there on the especially now, I'm lifting weights every time we give up a goal, and it got ugly towards the end. I'm not gonna lie. It was a rough dirt period on me. Nobody feels sorry for me. All right. I appreciate all the support. Kyle's finishing up the live stream now. And, all right. We're fine. We'll be good. We'll be good. We'll be good. Just get healthy.